called a six-lined race runner, and he earns his name. He's the fastest lizard on the glade. Now, the only reason I was able to catch him today is because it's cold out. Reptiles are cold-blooded, which means that they cannot regulate their own body temperature. They have to bask to warm themselves up, and until their body temperature does rise, they become pretty inactive and easy to catch. When winter comes, box turtles' cousins, the lizards and snakes, are slender enough to squeeze into warm holes and crevices where they hibernate. But portly box turtles can only dig themselves into a few inches of loose soil.
Who are you calling portly?
Welcome to my humble cabin in the woods.
Now, if she were to tag me, what she would inject me with is hematoxin. And hematoxin is nasty stuff, and what it does is, it begins to digest your tissues before she's even consumed the prey. So, she'll lie in wait for a rodent. Tag it, let it run off, follow the scent trail. Once she gets there, the digestion process has already begun. Well, we're in North America, and we're nowhere near the equator, so how is it that there's a rainforest here? That's actually pretty simple. Now, air currents in this part of the world, they move from the Pacific Ocean east over land. While that air is over the Pacific Ocean, it becomes saturated with moisture. When it moves east, it hits the coastal mountain range, forcing the air upward into the cold upper atmosphere. So what happens when water gets cold? It condenses. So the moisture in those clouds condenses and rains out and creates a rainforest in this area. Behind me is the enemy of the glade. It's the eastern red cedar, and it's the only tree that's capable of persisting in these harsh conditions and invading the glade. Get to the chopper! Well, now the tortoise family is complete. I showed you a female three-toed box turtle, a baby three-toed box turtle, and here's a male. And you can see he's a lot feistier than the other ones. Now you can tell males because they have red eyes as opposed to brown eyes, which is what the females have. This is the famous sidewinder. Now, what's pretty cool about this snake is you can see he's very beautiful, but when he grows up, he's going to lose his patterns and become black. I can barely run fast enough to keep my camera on him. And then he does the unexpected. Oh, there he is. But what's in the male's territory that's worth fighting over? Females, of course. What else are fights ever over? Now, I've already flipped this rock, so I know what's hiding beneath it. It's Missouri's most beautiful reptile, and it's a very rare and lucky find. Check it out. But how can you tell the difference between the harmless milk snake and the venomous coral snake? Red touches black, venom lack. Red touches yellow, kill a fellow. I'm on my way back down the mountain and no luck finding the giant salamander. Even though I didn't find the giant salamander, the creature that I'm about to cross paths with, I would have never expected. It is a whopper. Look at this thing. It's a western toad. The western toad is disappearing from the planet so quickly that populations that were intact just a few years ago are now gone. Maybe there was a healthy population of western toads here that hadn't yet been hit by the unstoppable thing that's threatening to wipe them out. The chytrid fungus is an epidemic that's swiftly spreading across the planet and causing rapid extinctions in amphibian species. The news might be bad right now, but almost every accomplishment that mankind has ever made was once thought impossible. Solving the chytrid problem can be one of those accomplishments, and maybe some of you out there can be the ones to help do it. Well, I wish you could be here with me to feel the atmosphere. It's extremely humid and hot today. As a matter of fact, the glade can be about 10 to 20 degrees hotter than the surrounding area. And it's sapping my energy. Well, I've been driving for the past 2 days, and I've finally arrived in the Sonoran Desert. If one doesn't feel smaller and decide to back down, you guessed it, Now the other thing is, he squeaks. He squeaks when he's caught. And perhaps the oddest thing about this gecko, when we were through here, he tried to sell me car insurance. Beneath the eyes, there are small holes. It's a heat detecting organ that gives them an infrared picture, so to speak, of their prey. What that allows them to do is hunt in the dark. I'm here at the top of the Colorado Rockies, above 14,000 feet in the Arctic tundra zone, where trees can't grow and few animals can survive year-round. But I've come here in search of the one animal that's the true master of this jagged, icy domain. I told you about hemotoxin. Well, this snake differs in that it has a neurotoxin. So rather than digesting the tissues of its prey after it strikes, this works on the nervous system and actually prevents muscle contractions. Now, what that means is it makes it tough for the animal to move, but more importantly, it can also shut down the heartbeat. What a beautiful snake. Look at that. All right. Although small, the 3-foot tiger rattlesnake is a record setter. It's the most toxic of the Sonoran rattlesnakes, and to the best of our knowledge, also in the entire world. Well, now I want to show you what's not here. If you saw our episode about the Colorado desert, then you remember our friend the collared lizard. Well, Missouri is actually the easternmost limit of the collared lizard's range. Only out west it lives in vast deserts and deep canyons that keep it safe from man. However, out east where it lives on the glades, it's possible to walk in and collect every single collared lizard within a few days, which is exactly what's happened. Due to the illegal collection of collared lizards for the pet trade, they're now extinct on this glade. She's probably already laid her eggs and is no longer interested in pairing with this male. I'm not a collared lizard, but even I'm picking up on the signals she's dropping down. It's a porcupine, and he's crawled up into the bottom of my truck. Males take on this striking coloration during the mating season to impress females. They'll go after any animal that can fit in their mouth. After this male popped up for a gulp of air, he forgot about the female that he was courting and walked off. Now that's no way to treat a beautiful young lady. I hit the fire salamander jackpot in that woodpile. Now right now, the fire salamanders are at the most active, between March and June. Oops. And that's because of the springtime rains. This is when the females are out and about depositing their larvae in little streams. I love these guys. I'm gonna let them go.